Picture this. The rain is pouring, two men sit in the ruins of a gate in ancient Japan, and a story unfolds. A story told from multiple perspectives, none of which can be trusted. That was Rashomon in 1950, and it didn't just change Japanese cinema, it changed cinema everywhere. Akira Kurosawa is often called the Emperor of Cinema. He was a director who combined the soul of Japanese tradition with storytelling techniques of the West. And his films didn't just inspire audiences, they directly inspired generations of filmmakers from George Lucas to Martin Scorsese to Francis Ford Coppola. So, how did a painter's son from Tokyo become one of the most influential directors in the history of cinema? Let's find out. Kurosawa was born in 1910 in Tokyo into a samurai family. His father was a stern man who believed in physical discipline, kendo practice, and stoicism. Young Akira wanted to be a painter and he trained extensively in art. That love of painting never left him. In fact, throughout his career, Kurosawa would storyboard his films like elaborate paintings, often in vivid color, even when the films themselves were in black and white. But Japan was changing. The world traditions were colliding with modernity. And Kurosawa was growing up in a society that was both deeply proud and deeply wounded. Those contradictions would define his work. Kurosawa entered the film industry almost by accident. In 1936, he applied for an assistant director job at Toho Studios. Out of 500 applicants, he was one of just a handful accepted. He learned under veteran directors, working across genres, samurai dramas, comedies, thrillers. But the war years were dark. Kurosawa made propaganda films under pressure from the government. Though even then he slipped in moments of humanity. It wasn't until after World War II, when Japan was under Allied occupation, that Kurosawa really found his voice. He directed Drunken Angel in 1948, starring a then unknown actor named Toshio Mifune. That collaboration changed everything. Mifune was raw, intense, almost animalistic. Kurosawa immediately recognized his talent, and together they made 16 films over the next 17 years. Their partnership became legendary, like Scorsese and De Niro or Fellini and Mastroianni. In Rashomon, Mifune played the bandit Tajomaru, delivering a performance that was both terrifying and strangely magnetic. Kurosawa once said Mifune had an ability to explode, to leap off the screen. And Mifune himself admitted that Kurosawa shaped him as an actor. Their partnership was the beating heart of Kurosawa's golden years. Rashomon was the breakthrough. It won the Golden Lion at the Venice Film Festival in 1951 and introduced Japanese cinema to the world stage. Suddenly, everyone was talking about Kurosawa. Then came Ikiru in 1952, a deeply human story about a dying bureaucrat searching for meaning. Kurosawa showed the cinema didn't have to be about grand gestures. It could be about small, quiet human struggles. And then, of course, Seven Samurai in 1954. 3 hours long, meticulously crafted, it told the story of farmers hiring samurai to defend their village. The film combined action, philosophy, and character study in a way that had never been done before. It went on to inspire the Magnificent Seven in Hollywood and Sholay in India, and its DNA can be found in everything from Star Wars to Avengers to millions of other artworks. Kurosawa's films are a bridge. He took Japanese stories, samurai, feudal lords, post-war struggles, and told them with cinematic techniques inspired by John Ford, D.W. Griffith, and Russian montage. He used movement, weather, and landscape like characters themselves. Think of the torrential rain in Rashomon, the blizzards in Seven Samurai, the wind sweeping across barren landscapes in Throne of Blood. His recurring themes were justice, honor, corruption, and the individual versus society. But Kurosawa's career wasn't always glorious. By the 60s and 70s, his films were struggling at the box office in Japan. Young audiences wanted something more radical. more experimental. Critics dismissed him as old fashioned. He even attempted suicide in 1971 after a film project collapsed. For a time, it seemed like the emperor of cinema had fallen. And then redemption came from abroad. Soviet Union invited him to make Der Suzala in 1975, which went on to win the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film. Later, George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola helped secure funding for Kagemusha in 1980, which won the Palme d'Or at Cannes. And then in 1985 came Ran, Kurosawa's late masterpiece, a reimagining of Shakespeare's King Lear with warlords in medieval Japan. At 75, Kurosawa had once again stunned the world. Kurosawa received the Academy Award for Lifetime Achievement in 1990, presented by none other than George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, two directors who considered him their master. Spielberg once said Kurosawa was the pictorial Shakespeare of our time. When Kurosawa bowed on stage that night, frail but dignified, it was as if cinema itself was paying respect. Kurosawa's influence is everywhere. George Lucas admitted that Star Wars was directly inspired by The Hidden Fortress.
The one thing about Hidden Fortress is it did influence me in doing Star Wars, because as I was beginning to write the screenplay and put it together, I remembered Hidden Fortress.
Sergio Leone credited Yojimbo as the template for his spaghetti westerns. Even modern directors like Bong Joon-ho and Guillermo del Toro cite Kurosawa as a guiding star. But beyond influence, Kurosawa left us with images that never fade. The lone samurai in the rain, the bureaucrat on a swing in Ikiru, the chaos of battle in Ran. He showed us that cinema could be philosophy, poetry, and spectacle all at once. So, let me ask you, which Kurosawa film speaks to you the most? Is it the epic heroism of Seven Samurai, the haunting truth of Rashomon, or the quiet dignity of Ikiru? Drop your thoughts in the comments and I would love to hear you. Please like, share and subscribe this channel on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. The links can be found in my bio so that we can make more such videos on more such beautiful stories of icons from the world of cinema, and more cinema lovers like you and me can hear more stories about the greatest of world cinema. So until next time, goodbye.